Hi there, and welcome to Reflections on the Life and the Story of Jesus. And today we're going to talk about the kingdom of God, which is what Jesus was preaching, what Jesus was bringing into the earth. And we see that in this part of Jesus' life, that things begin to turn. The Pharisees and the teachers of the law, they kind of had enough. They're jealous. He keeps on disrupting their religious ways, their religious systems. He keeps bringing people back to the heart of the kingdom, and they can't take it anymore because he's just bringing so much change. I mean, he's healing people on the Sabbath. His disciples are eating heads of grain that they've picked off from the Sabbath, and in their mind, this was not done. How could you do this work on the Sabbath? But Jesus rightly says that the Son of Man, which is Jesus, is the Lord of the Sabbath. Now, Sabbath is good. Sabbath is a principle of rest where we can stop, rest, and enjoy God. But all these rules had come about for the Sabbath. And right now what we're seeing is that Jesus is actually the fulfillment of the Sabbath. But they start to plot how they might kill Jesus because of all this that he was doing. And so Jesus moves himself to another area, and he begins to minister again. He begins to heal the sick. He begins to set the captives free. He begins to rescue people out of possession of evil spirits and those who are oppressed by the devil. And when they see this, the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, the religious leaders of the day, they come against Jesus and they say, you see, what he's doing is he's setting people free from the devil because he is the devil. And so they begin to demonize Jesus. They begin to make his ministry disreputable. They begin to just heap on insult and condemnation upon his ministry. But then Jesus says, how can Satan go against Satan? Because then his kingdom will be divided and it will fall. But if I am setting these people free by the power of God, then the kingdom of God has come to you. And what we see the religious leaders on every occasion is they're rejecting and denying the kingdom of God because it didn't come in a style, in a package, in a form that they loved, in a form that they understood, in a form that they could get behind. They were so boxed into their own way that they couldn't see the new thing that God was doing amongst them. And Jesus was kind of bringing them down to this point of saying, by your fruit, you will be recognized. And so if your life is rooted in the kingdom of God, good kingdom fruit will be the result. But if your life is rooted in the kingdom of the world, in the kingdom of the devil, then bad fruit will be a result. And he's pretty much challenging to say, listen, the fruit of your life is not godly. The fruit of your life is not the kingdom. The kingdom of God has come, and now is the time to step into that kingdom. And then Jesus moves on from there, and they kind of want to see a sign. They say, Jesus, you're saying really bold statements here. Well, are you the Messiah? Give us a sign. Never mind all the people that he healed. Never mind all the people that he set free. They want to see now, hey, give us a real sign. And that's the amazing thing for me, is that miracles have never been the key indicator for people believing in God. Miracles have given authority to the word that's being preached. But a generation that only wants miracles and doesn't want the message of Jesus are going to miss the point altogether, because the purpose of miracles is the person of the miracle, which is Jesus. But he comes and says, the only sign that will be given is the sign of Jonah, how Jonah went into the belly of a whale, and how after 3 days he was spat out on the beach. In the same way, Jesus was saying, though they didn't understand, that he would go to a tomb, he would put into the belly of the earth, he would be raised to life again on the third day. And he boils it down to say this, that those who are my family are those who do the will of my Father in heaven. So my reflection on this part of Jesus' story and of his life is that Jesus is the fulfillment of the Sabbath. Jesus is the fulfillment of our hopes. Jesus is the fulfillment of the kingdom of God coming into the earth. The kingdom of God is always expanding. And I want to encourage us that as we reflect on this part of Jesus' life, let us not be like the religious leaders who needed it to be packaged in just the way that they could accept. but rather to immerse ourselves in the kingdom of God, accept the teachings of Jesus and the ways of Jesus, and let our lives be rooted in His kingdom. Let our lives be rooted in His teachings, that the fruit of our life would be kingdom fruit. That it's not about our preference, it's about His preference, His priority, His way, His kingdom. And all of our needs will be met. All that we need will come to pass, as long as it's according to His will, because it is His kingdom, not our kingdom. We're not building our kingdom. Our moments on earth are fleeting, but His are eternal. So I want to encourage us today, let's live a kingdom-centered life. Well, I hope today's been helpful to you, and I'll catch you in the next video.